Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show where we are here at the ABV Barrel Shop and we are talking about our Rank the Regulars, the exciting segment that we like to do once a month. As always, we're a little bit behind on doing this, but it is going to happen here right now. Hey Jim, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, sir. How about you?
Good. There's always some excitement when the new rankings come out, right?
Yeah, we tried to do this last week and we just got too busy in the shop. You had been pretty slow all day when I got here working on some stuff, and all of a sudden, from the moment we started this, we had customer after customer. So
brought out the computer and then ultimately just gently put it away.
That's true.
Yeah, that's how it worked out. So that stuff happens. Not a big deal. We'll get to it today. But we had a pretty big night yesterday, didn't we?
We did. Last night, we had our public hearing with the city of Arnold for us to get our speakeasy next door. And I don't think it could have gone any better.
I think you're right. I think it went really good. And I mean, unanimous vote. So they go to vote and everyone was for. They didn't have anybody. It's a public forum, so anything can happen. No one spoke out against it. The meeting was actually pretty brief. The feedback that we got was great. The commissioners that were there on hand seemed to really like the idea. So, yeah.
It was a 6-all vote for us. So no dissent.
Yep.
No public dissent. We had quite a few of our regulars there to support us. So that's pretty cool for them to show up as well.
Yeah. I don't think she's a listener, but you know what? Sometimes you just do things because they're the right thing to do. Shout out to Sarah, who works for the city of Arnold, who put together the report and then delivered that on our business. It was incredible. She gave a great overview. You think she'd be part of the Rate the Regulars. She's never even been in here to my knowledge. I mean, she really researched our business, talked about the feedback we got and really did a great job, didn't she?
Yeah, especially from our perspective. It was a glowing review, listed all our reviews from Amazon and TripAdvisor and all those kinds of things there. So she just went above and beyond, and she didn't really have to. We don't know her, and she
right.
doesn't know us. So it was awesome of her to do that for us, and it helped us a lot, I think.
Yeah. So she's a ceremonial first place on the Rate the Regulars. Not that we would do that because we don't want to seem like we're involved with the city officials, but that was really cool what she did. I mean, I showed my wife the report. She's like, man, this is really good. I'm like, yeah. I mean, she's a city employee and put all this together, and we couldn't have wrote it better ourselves. If they would have been like, here, write this up, make it glowing about your company, we wouldn't have done as good a job as she did.
Yeah, we'd probably been more reserved with it. Like, right. We can't be that, gracious about what we're doing here. It was awesome. It was
very cool, very cool. So we're moving forward as we record this. We just started selling memberships today, so that's kind of fun. And the vision's going to be coming together. It's going to take a little while. We're looking at a build out of somewhere between 2 and 3 months is the estimate. And again, that's an estimate. Estimate means what, Jim? It could take shorter or longer, right?
That is true.
Yeah, some of it's out of our hands because there are some inspections and that. Right. We would love to make sure we get it done before 3 months, but we just can't even guarantee that.
Hopefully we're on the shorter end of that. I think we can be realistically once we get things rolling here. There's not a ton involved in the build out over there.
Space is way better than this was.
Yeah, but it complicates it a little bit also because I didn't care if we made a mess of this space when I was making stuff, and so some stuff there I'll build more at home and bring in because I don't want to destroy the space over there.
Right.
But overall, it's a great space, and there's not a ton to do. The bathrooms will be the big push.
Yeah. We're going out of town this weekend, which is unfortunate. I would really like to be up here on Sunday, kind of touching up the paint. And because we go through and touch up the paint and 70% of it's done. Just, the general place. I mean, then it's kind of ready to go for the most part, other than what you've got to do with the the bar area. And then of course the bathroom, again, that's going to be something we're contracting out. So yeah, but it'll be nice when it comes together.
Looking forward to it.
I think people are going to be amazed. They've seen the empty shell. And again, that's, I think, tough for people to visualize what that's going to look like. I know I'll never forget, in my life, I will never forget, our buddy Rob came in on the day we took over this place. And he's a friend, and he's like, yeah, this is cool, guys. But you could tell in his mind, I can read behind his eyes. He's like, what the fuck are these two doing? This will be done in a month. You could tell. And then to Rob's credit, he keeps coming by because again, it's our friend. The change in his look as he walked in. To me, Rob's the barometer of the transition in this place.
Yeah, this was a complete shithole we walked in.
It was bad, man.
Complete. And listen, I don't think you and I could have visualized this came together. We didn't really have a plan for this. We just kind of winged it as each part came along. Different materials would become available to us. How can we incorporate this into a build?
We're not that good at this stuff. Even at one point, we got this horrible orange paint that we ended up just throwing the whole gallon away.
Yeah.
It was orange. Yeah. I mean, Danny would have loved it. Our buddy Danny. He would have loved it.
I even offered it to him. He didn't need it for anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a hellhole, and how it came along is just miraculous. To be honest with you, this wasn't our vision from the start.
No.
But it's way better, I think, than anything we could have envisioned, and I'm hoping for the same results on the other side.
Yeah. It's fun to take a look at people's faces. Again, I think, what they say, this was built between 1975 and 80. It started in 75, and then it was built and it took 5 years, not because it takes 5 years to do a project, but they kind of built as they went, I believe. And so the newest part of this is, from 1980. That's old, and it kind of feels, a little tired. I mean, it's not bad, but it's also not great either. No one walks up and says the plaza that you're in could not be any better. It's, it's okay. Yeah. We're a whiskey oasis inside of that. We really are.
Yeah. And the speakeasy kind of works as well. It's kind of hidden back here. It's literally the entrance.
It's tucked in
underneath the stairwell to the upstairs, so it's hard to see from the parking lot. That, so it is truly a hidden.
Yeah, in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight, which is cool.
It works out well for us.
All right. Well, we don't have bottles to pop corks on, but I've got our Yellowstone pick in my hand. What are you drinking there?
I'm drinking some Copper Dome.
Copper Dome, yeah. So we've got some good stuff. So cheers, buddy.
Cheers, bud.
All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, it's going to be time for Rate the Regulars. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Denny Kennard, and my ultra drinking Edo is Freddie Miller. I'll drink to that.
All right, here is what we've got. Here are our potential regulars. We always start out with 20. We whittle this down to 10. Here are who could be our regulars this time that get rated in our top 10. We don't rate beyond that. So Cop Chris always wants to know, what's 11 through 20 look like? We don't know. In your mind, you could be number 11 then. Everyone's number 11. All right, so we got Pam Hoyle. We got Kristen Wall, Kathy Cool, Tony Vitale, Cop Chris, Cop Ken, Kyle Neely, Sean Bequette, Bill Barnwell, Mike Steinkamp, Jody Stone, she brings gifts, Evan Van Scoik, Darren McCroy, Dave Hoyle, Michael Folk, who had the nerve to walk in and say, I guess I'll never make this list. And damn, to our credit, he was in the mix.
Already on the list, yeah.
Yeah, he did not make the top 10, but he was on the list. So, but I don't know that he's done anything better to crack the top 10. I mean, he's kind of hovering where he's at, and somewhere in that 11 to
he's number 11.
20 range. Yeah, he's number 11.
Right there with Chris.
Evan Neters coming on strong.
Oh, yeah.
Very positive online too. I don't know if we factor in online stuff. He's really good to us. Avery Patridge. I almost feel like we need to throw Avery in there because he's traveling in. He's from Ohio and he's been in here every week.
Every single week. He's our Thursday night thing.
Tony Vitale can't say he's been in there every week. He took last week off. Yeah,
his dog took precedence over us.
Yeah, so we'll see how that impacts, if it does impact at all, his ranking. My buddy Randy Falf, I thought this was a surprise one. He comes in, not necessarily every week, but when he comes in, he makes a splash, that's for sure. And his wife comes in. It's always fun when they're here. They like a few laughs. Keith Garvins is on the list. He was excited to be, unlike most, he was excited to be nominated last time. So he's nominated again. Whether he makes it or not, we'll see. Jim Gokin, Jim also coming on very strong. Then he takes a vacation and kind of has hurt his chances. So we'll see. All right, it is live now.
Well, I think maybe we should start this a little different. Of who on there should we know is going to make the top 10? Is there? Let's start at the bottom, like a couple that have kind of dropped off.
Yeah.
Because for me, there's a clear one here.
Well, Bill Barnwell.
Exactly.
Bill
Barnwell, he fell victim to Lent.
Right.
In his defense, I guess. He came in one day during Lent, and I convinced him that he could still drink. And we haven't seen him since.
No. So, yeah. So we got him to break that. So, yeah, I feel like he would have a hard time making the list. Now, if he gets back on his regular schedule, he's usually a 2 or 3 times a week guy.
Oh, yeah. But I haven't seen Bill in, 3 weeks?
No, and we're past Easter now.
Right. So I feel like he needs to drop off. He's my first one to not make the list.
He's not going to make the list. Anybody else you feel should not make the list? Anybody stand out? I feel like Michael Folk has to do a little timeout time for demanding that he be on there, and then maybe play the episode with him. He didn't walk away and be like, that's cool. I figure it out. No, we had to play it, and then he had to hear it, and then he knew. So yeah, he's probably not going to make the top 10. All right. Not going to make the top 10.
So those two are out.
But let's talk about number 1. Who do we think is number 1? Does Pam hold on to that spot? She's our current number 1.
I mean, who pushes her out if that's the case? Pam is here almost every day we're open, and on some of those days we're open here, she's here multiple times a day.
Oh, yeah.
Now, given she only lives a couple miles down the road, so it's easy for her to do.
Right.
But she still always brings us joy. Like, every time Pam comes walking in, we know we're in for a good time. again, it's not about the spend. Pam comes nowhere near spending as much as some of the people that are on this
It's
list.
not about that. Yeah.
So it's not about that at all. It's just about there's never a time when Pam's not here that I don't laugh.
Okay.
So
You think she's number one?
what do you think?
I think she hangs on to number one.
I think she does too.
I think she has to.
Someone's going to have to work hard to knock her off.
It may happen at some point, but for right now, she's number one. Number two, Tony Vitale has held on to number two since we did it. I think he moves down.
I do too.
I don't think Tony's number two at all. I think Dave Hoyle may grab the spot.
I agree.
Dave's been coming a lot. He's been dedicated to it.
He's trying to overtake his wife. It's tough to do, especially with his work schedule. So
Right.
he
works hard. He makes the effort to come in here. A lot of times he'll stay till close
Right.
just to hang out.
It's probably more effort for Dave to do it than for Pam, to be honest
Right.
with you. So yeah, I think he bumps Tony down, and Tony, I love dogs too. I love my pup, but you traded me out on Friday night.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was hurt by that.
You
I
were
was,
hurt.
I
You
was
were
hurt.
I think number three. I don't think Tony. In my mind, he's not number three either. I think he falls farther down than that. I think that Jody Stone or Kristen Wall. I think that's 3 and 4 right there. Who goes where? I think those two are. Kristen Wall has certainly made the effort. Jody does not live close, but when she comes,
Right, Jody's got a long way to get here.
She always brings
she always
gooey butter cake.
and she brings stuff for Barley too, which
Yeah.
that's extra points right there. She brings stuff for the dog who doesn't know she's doing things for. He doesn't know he's doing things for. So I say we put Jody.
Okay,
Which is really going to piss Tony off.
Oh yeah, because Tony claims credit for Jody. He's like, I told her about this place. She's my friend, and so whether or not that's true, I don't know. Do you agree? Kristen goes to number 4.
Yeah,
Kristen Wall, number 4. She is.
it's a big shakeup here in the rankings
Oh
this
yeah,
week.
Kristen Wall after cracking the top 10 and then disappearing, and then she's come on strong. She's
Yes.
on vacation and stuff like that. So we've got 6 spots left here. People that got to be in the mix. I mean, Cop Ken, Cop Chris, Sean Bequette. Obviously, he's right. Mike Steinkamp, Van Scoik, Darren McCroy, Evan Nieders as a surprise, maybe. I don't know.
I think Evan's close. He'll probably be a little further down the list for me than where we're at right now.
Okay. Number 5. Is there anybody who grabs?
I mean, Steinkamp is in here all the time.
Steinkamp is in here all the time.
And he's always promoting us and doing great things.
Kyle Neely has been in here a bunch too. He's kicked it
He's
up.
picking up his game.
Yeah, remember we were complaining about him not doing enough. Has he kicked it up enough to take number 5? Steinkamp or Neely?
Let's throw Neely a bone.
All right, Neely. Kyle Neely.
I mean, because for one thing, like, listen, I love both those guys, but Neely is so willing to have like self-deprecating humor. Like he allows me to post those videos,
It's true.
Or, whatever. Of,
It's true.
Of stuff like
it is about bringing joy, and he
Right.
certainly is. And he and I had just a funny moment in here the other day. I had a insurance salesman come in. He comes in, he's dressed casual clothes. He's in shorts and a Cardinals shirt. I don't know he's an insurance guy. I go over, shake his hand. He's like, I'm Steve, welcome to the shop. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, this is so cool. And he's like, what I do is I sell health insurance. And I'm like, shit. And he pulls a brochure out of his pocket. He doesn't have a briefcase, nothing. Out of his pocket, he pulls a brochure out. Shorts, by the way. Well, this guy looks like hell. I'm not going to buy anything from this guy, much less insurance for employees and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. And it's like, can I set up a time to come in and, maybe a formal meeting? I said, no. And he's like, well, can I at least have a card? I know what this guy's doing. He's a sales guy. He wants to take the name. And I said, yes. My name's Jim. My card's
Oh,
are
jackass.
Fucking Kyle and I died laughing about that. God damn, we laugh so much. So sometimes it's with him. Sometimes we're laughing at him is the bottom line. So, but we had some fun with it. Somebody coming in? Maybe.
Looks like it. I can't see the face through the sticker, but
We'll see.
someone's coming here.
Someone's coming in. All right.
Maybe they're on the list.
Maybe they're on the
not.
list. Maybe they're on the list. All right. Number 6. In my mind, we've got 10 viable candidates for 5 spots that are left, Jim.
So let's hear the 10.
Here's the 10. Kathy Cool. Again, not here that often, but she also doesn't live close. She's a great friend. She does add to the fun when she's here, for sure. Tony Vitale. Tony is not on the list yet, and he's been a constant. And so, yeah. Cop Chris and Cop Ken. Sean Bequette. Mike Steinkamp. Evan Van Scoik. Darren McCroy. And then two to mix things up a little bit, Evan Nieters and Avery Patridge.
Damn.
Yeah, I think those are 10 viable candidates. Who do we say has to make it out of that group? That we'll put in spot number 6.
I can't say that Tony drops off the list completely. There's no, I mean, he had a bad week, whatever.
He had a bad week.
But I still think Tony's got to be in there, whether it's 6 or not. He's got to be in the top 10.
Okay. We got to be careful. We got to start not putting too many down.
I know, right?
Because we can start putting them down. Once they go in, I do this in ink. It's in Sharpie.
I understand.
There's no, yeah.
So
wait a minute, we missed Tony.
So put an asterisk over there for now, by him. Let's go
right,
through
Tony is he's a strong possibility.
Strong possibility.
Anybody else?
I mean, Cop Ken. It's hard for me to argue against Cop Ken too. He's
right
in here. Safe amount of time.
Cop Chris. He's in here a lot as well. You got our 2 cops, and then do they hurt each other? So it's like you got 2 that just go by this moniker cop, and does that hurt each other? If they were just Chris and Ken, would we be like, oh, well, they both got to go in, and then it's like, oh, we'll just put in one of our cop buddies? Does that happen? I don't know. Maybe. Sean Bequette. He's frequently here. Mike Steinkamp. I mean, he's here a lot.
I feel like Mike is going to be on the have to list for me.
Okay, he's a have to.
Yeah.
All right. What about Van Scoik? Darren McCroy. I think based on customer, we keep saying we're going to be hiring him, and at that point he does not part of this discussion. But do we ding him for that? Do we like, he's going to be an employee? Or do we like, right now he's not an employee? He's done the things to make the list of rate the regulars. I don't know. And then we throw someone a bone, someone like an Evan Nieters or Avery Patridge.
Okay, if I'm going to throw a bone to one of the obscure ones, to me it would be Avery.
Okay.
He's here every Thursday.
Okay. I think that would be a nice gesture for him making that.
And he's like, nobody travels further to see us than Avery.
Right. And Avery's not working in this town. He's working in, what's the town?
Decatur,
Illinois. Yeah, where Milliken is.
So he literally lives out of state.
Right.
His business brings him to Decatur, but he flies out of St. Louis. So he makes a trip to see us every Thursday before he flies home.
Yeah, we're not on the way between Decatur and the airport. Here. So he's going out of his way
every week without fail. He is here.
Okay. Do we want to throw him a bone, but then later on in the lists?
I think maybe later on the list.
I think so too. I think he's because I don't know.
I think he's 10. I think he's number 10.
I think he's probably number 10. Okay.
Which is
I'm going to lock him in at that. I'm going to put him at 10. Normally we don't drop all the way down, but we're going to put Avery in so we don't miss him. Because that's the worry. Because all of a sudden we start writing down names, and it is what it is at that point. You miss, better luck next month. So at spot number 6, you've got 2 that you say have to be on the list. Steinkamp and Tony. Do you make one of those guys in, or do you make some of the other regulars? Kathy Cool, Van Scoik, McCroy.
Oh, it's getting tough, Steve.
I feel like Evan Nieters has been eliminated.
Yeah.
We took one flyer. That's going to be Avery. Evan might have his moment next month if we.
Evan's got a good chance because Avery's job is going to be changing,
yeah.
So he won't be here every week. So,
but I feel like there's always this is part of it too. You gotta throw someone a bone.
Yeah.
There's always got to be the throw someone a bone on there because. Again, the list could be the top 30, and then we'd get kind of everybody that's a regular. But
it's like we said, it's easy for Pam and Dave to be here every couple. They live 2 miles down the road. Like it's not a big deal for Avery to come here.
Okay,
he lives 500 miles down the road.
We've got 6 people on the list. We got 4 to go, and we've got some good candidates here: Kathy Cool, Cop Chris, Cop Ken, Sean Bequette, Steinkamp, Evan Van Scoik, Darren McCroy. I think those are the ones that are vying for this final spot. What are you thinking, man? Where are we at?
I'm thinking. I don't necessarily in this order. I'm just thinking who's on there. To me, Sean's got to make this list. I think
Sean has to.
He's been coming strong here lately, and I just feel he deserves to be on there. I don't know if he's 6th or not. Who are you thinking needs to be on there?
Who needs to be? I do think Steinkamp needs to be on there.
That's true. I think honestly,
Tony probably needs to be on there.
I would probably do Man, I'd probably do Mike 6,
Okay.
Tony 7,
All right.
Sean
Mike's-
8.
Mike Steinkamp. Let's slow down. Mike Steinkamp, Tony Vitale, number 7, and he's kind of on probation. If he comes back and is here every Friday, he could spring right back up to number 2, number 1 easily. He could have a quick spring back.
If I lose out to Puppy Love again this Friday,
then he may come find out the next one he doesn't even make the list. So we'll see. We're watching him closely. Then you got Sean. You said he's got to go on.
Man, I
and
just feel like
Steinkamp. Are those the two, or our friend Kathy Cool, Cop Chris, Cop Ken? I mean, you're leaving out some.
How many spots do we have?
2
left?
spots.
Oh,
2 spots.
Oh, that gets tough then. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, who are our main candidates for the last 2 spots?
So I think you've got Steinkamp, you got Sean Bequette, you've got Cop Ken and Cop Chris. I think those are your final 4 for 2 spots. Oh, and Kathy Cool. I think you got 5. I like making the case for Kathy. She makes it down for a lot of stuff, even more classes and stuff like that than those guys. I think she's I'm going to say Kathy. You know what? I'm going to take 1 out of those 5, and I'm going to say Kathy, and I'll let you take the last one. Kathy Cool makes it, and she comes in at number 8. That means you only got 1 spot. I'm going
to take Steinkamp.
Steinkamp.
And man, nothing against anybody else, but he's here all the time, and he's always a good time. And he's not just here for just classes. He's here for everything.
Right. Yeah, there you go. There you go, buddy. That is our list. Pam Hoyle, Dave Hoyle, Jody Stone, Kristen Wall, Kyle Neely, Mike Steinkamp, Tony Vitale, Kathy Cool, Mike Steinkamp. We doubled up on Steinkamp. I'd already put him on there. We have a spot. So who is the...
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
This is epic. Who? No.
See, that's what happens with the disjointed show.
Yes, we had to stop and start too many times. Yes.
We had Demetrius Kane, celebrity, in here, distracting us, and we had Gary Heingartner calling us from Woodhat. And
so we'll leave Steinkamp at 6, where we had officially ranked him, and then so that means the number 9 spot is open.
And who's left now? Refresh my memory.
Okay, so we've got Cop Ken, Cop Chris, Sean Bequette. You got three candidates for 1 spot. Cop Chris, Cop Ken, Sean Bequette.
I'm leaning towards Sean.
Okay.
I feel like we owe him one. He's been here a bunch, and he's been with us before this. Like, been with you even before.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's Generation 1, as they're now come to be called. So he is a Generation 1 member. That's going to be good enough to get him in today. So number 8 is Kathy Cool, 9 Sean Bequette, and Avery Patridge makes it in at number 10. So there you go. There is our list. This was fun. It's always a fun exercise to do this. And again, you want to be a regular? Come by and see us. And even if you're out of town, and you make a little bit of effort while you're here, you never know. You might get that 10th spot where we're throwing someone a ball. That's always going to be constant flux, I say. I say that one's where we got to throw people, but we got to get different people involved. I don't want the list to become static, and as such, 10 spot will be, hey, this is an up-and-comer. This is or someone who gets rewarded for making an effort above and beyond. So fun stuff. On that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Jim, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Jim Fosnut, on Instagram at FozJim, or almost every damn day hanging out here in the ABV Barrel Shop and soon to be building our speakeasy next door.
Very exciting stuff. For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Also, Jim mentioned the Barrel Shop. Check out abvbarrelshop.com and also sign up for our email and text distribution right there on the main page. All right, please get involved in the show. Give us a 5-star review. That really helps new people find us. Leave comments. That also is very helpful. And if you want to get involved, head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network. On that note, we'll wrap this one up by saying goodbye. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Cheers.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the Hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.